mistake that I see made more often than you can imagine is folks are more focused on writing compelling copy than they are on writing believable copy. They're more focused on the drama. They're more focused on the power. They're more focused on, we were joking about the jealously guarded steroid-like tsunami result. They're more focused on the flair. They're more focused on the big dramatic hook, the big dramatic angle. They're more focused on the drama of copy. They think that at the root of copy, that the more dramatic it is, the more hyperbolic it is, that the better it converts. But you have to realize at the end of the day, you're presenting a message that you need people to believe. If they don't believe what you're saying is true, they're not buying. It doesn't matter how dramatic it is. If they don't believe you, remember, at the core, what did we say yesterday? We said, right, they're on an island. They're right here. Your prospects are here. They've got a problem, pain point, frustration, disappointment, or an unfulfilled desire, and they want to go here. Your job is to show them, is to convince them, is to make them believe that you've got a solution that can get them from here to there and do it better, more efficiently, more effective, easier, quicker than any other solution. That's your job, meaning they have to believe what you are saying. And I see copy, I see messaging that comes across my desk on a regular basis where I'm like, this is not believable. This is not believable. Whether it be it's just an outrageous hook, like we joked around about, I discovered the secret to, burning body fat from the lost city of Atlantis. That ain't believable, man. By the majority of normal human beings, that's not believable. Right? Like what you're ultimately doing is you're making the leap of belief big. Like you're making it big. You're asking these people to take a monster leap, meaning you're making your job much more difficult. Right? Everything that you present needs to be believable. And remember, you've heard me say numerous times, not everything that's true is believable and not everything that's believable is true. What we're dealing with or what we want to deal with is true and believable. At the root, it's got to be believable. It's got to be believable. And ultimately, your job, and this is what I said yesterday, like, I don't know whether it is time spent in the marketing arena, like, years now at this point, over 2 decades doing this, but I really think that I've really come to believe and view that most they're caught up in this art of copywriting. They put on that copywriting cap, they sit down and they spew out stuff that you would never spew out in any other place in your life except when you're writing copy. And then we think that that's good copy, right? But what did we say yesterday, right? That good copy doesn't sound like copy. It doesn't feel like copy. Like, it doesn't feel like you're being manipulated. It doesn't feel like you're being pitched. It doesn't feel like it's coming from a biased perspective. Good copy feels like you're being educated, right? Like you're being shown information that it's helping you to come to a new conclusion, a new belief, right? This is why we say when it's done right, in the end, your prospect should be like, thank you. Thank you for opening my eyes. Thank you for helping me to understand. Right? And so I want you to recognize that at the root of everything that I do is I just want them to believe. Listen, if nothing else, I just want them to believe that I've got a solution to bring you from here to here that is superior to the other options. If nothing else, that's all that I want to do. That's at the root of I don't care about all the other stuff. To me is the seasoning. All the other stuff is the seasoning. At the root, that's what I am trying to do. And they need to believe it. So when I make a claim about the solution, they need to believe the claim. Therefore, I need to present proof, evidence, support. I need to reinforce it. This is why, David, we're talking about communication. That's right. And so I want them to believe it. I want them to understand it. And I said, my approach to message creation is this, where a lot of copywriters, a lot of marketers mistakenly think that the emotional aspect comes from these hyperbolic words and phrases, right? Like that, if I say to you, you're going to experience steroid-like results, tsunami of results, that's where the emotion comes from. The reality is that where the emotion comes from is when I believe, my gosh, this legitimately can get me from here to there. Like, this is plausible. This sounds legit. Like this, I see it. I get it. I understand. Oh my gosh, finally. The prospect of me going from here to there, this is real. Like I feel good about it. That's where the emotion comes from. It doesn't come from this artificial puffery that you're creating with words. It comes from establishing the belief in them. And so everything that you say has to be believable. I would rather you be less dramatic and more believable. I would rather you forget the drama for now. Be believable first. You can add in the drama after. Like, in other words, I will always start off by proving my case, which we're going to talk about. Proving my argument, proving my thesis, making sure that I'm presenting a rock solid argument for the fact that I do have a solution that can get you from point A to B. Then I'll go in and I'll say, is there a way that we can say it better with a little bit more flair, a little bit more impact? But at the root, you got to be believable. And so it's baffling to me how many people will default to compelling. Like they think, my job is to write compelling copy. Your job is to write believable copy that's compelling. Your job is to establish beliefs. It's got to be believable that is compelling.